Hello, hola, bonjour. Tune in every Tuesday to the Dear God podcast.
¿Y qué pasó?
Nah, we talking like it's 1995. Let go of that Wi-Fi. Let's laugh and cry, but never say goodbye. Hey, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dear God. Are we there yet? Anyways, first I want to say thank you for everyone who's listening. I actually switched over to another platform called Spreaker. And so anything that you've heard on Blog Talk Radio, you'll still be getting on there. But we are trying to do some big things here with this podcast. So we're switching over. We're trying out some new things and going to be bringing out people on the team so that we could, promote this big, right? I was going to say promote this bad stuff. Bad, awesome. Not bad. Anyways, let me get to the point. So today's episode might be a little short. I always say that when I am in a creative mode or when I'm driving or when I'm doing something, I always get creative to think and my mind starts going. So I kind of want to shout out with you guys and talk about something that I kind of, one of my relatives sent me this text message about EAP or EP. Let me see if I have it right. And I want to know what you guys think about it. I mean, I know this is a dialogue with myself today, of course, but as far as what this is, it's called, and my wife actually knows about it. It's called the EMP, electromagnetic power surge or something. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. And I guess it's what people are talking about. So there's two things I want to talk about, right? I want to talk about this, and then I want to talk about the coincidence. And I never really talk about politics, right? So, and I really don't, because I just don't, I have things to say about it, but it's just like, I don't really know to talk about it. I'm the type of person that, is like, if you don't have anything, if you don't know about something, don't talk about it too much. Know what you're talking about first, follow it, understand it, know your facts, or whatever the case is. And so I don't really know anything about it. So this is why when it comes to politics, I don't talk about it so much, because I don't really know so much about it. I mean, I know the surface stuff, and I know based on what I hear and what I see on CNN, and I don't really watch it, but I hear it and I see it on my feeds and whatever. But so this is the reason why I don't, but I welcome you if you want to be on the show and you want to talk politics. You know what? I'm game for it. Politics and religion is something that people don't usually talk about because of that. It's because of, people are very strongly opinionated about what they believe in. And guess what? That's awesome. And I guess the major thing is where the respect lies. You know what I mean? As long as everybody's respectful. Again, I live in a kumbaya world in my mind. And so that's probably why I never get into it, because I don't like confrontation. Don't get me wrong. I can be in a confrontation, but you know what I mean? Or if you know me, I'm not that one. And I don't like arguing and stuff when it comes to those things. I'm like, can we just all get along? But we don't live in a world like that, right? So something came on my feed about this. What happens if Donald Trump, or let me not just even say his name, just, if the government is closed for the next, couple of months, and the real impact of us. And then I started thinking about, then my relative sent me that about the magnetic, you know the word. And then I see something on my feed talking about North Korea EMP attack could destroy U.S. So I started doing some research on what the heck is this, this EMP, this electromagnetic power surge, or whatever the case is. And if you guys don't know about it, you should definitely check it out. But basically, it's like a missile, like a nuclear, and again, don't quote me on this, because again, I'm just surfacing, looking at this, and I'm just reading the highlights, or you would say just the cliff notes about it. But there's 3 stages of this EMP, and then I see that going on, and I see all the what stuff going on with the government, and if it's shut down, which honestly, it could, if the government shuts down for more than a month, weeks, months, whatever the case, even years, it could literally affect all of us. The first thing I saw in that list was the stock market. And that's it. Like, that's all I gotta say. I mean, everything is controlled by the stock market. Even if you're not in a public company, or even if you're an entrepreneur, I mean, everything revolves around the stock market. And so, for a better, or less word, and jobs and government programs like food stamps, and I mean, not that would, well, let me stop. Well, anyways, yes, the food stamps and government assistance, elderly people with their checks, and of course, people that work in the government, right? So then I see that, and then I see the Washington Times post, North Korea EMP attack could destroy U.S. now. And now this is actually an old thing on the Washington Times, but it actually came up on my feed whenever you Google EMP, or you're kind of Googling. And that's the thing about, when you're Googling something, things come out of the woodworks to make you understand. So I start piecing it all together. And a lot of you are going to be like, all right, Alicia, you and your conspiracy theories and all that stuff. But I have been open to the fact, to understanding, and this is a big thing about being open-minded, about understanding other views and other research and other things. Again, I don't talk about politics on my show for this same reason, because I feel like if you're going to talk about something, you're going to stand behind it, you got to be knowledgeable. I mean, that's just it. I think that facts can be confused with opinions, and I think that's something huge that's going on. And so that's why when I'm speaking like this, don't take it, dear God, what is an EMP? I think that's going to be the title for this week. Or how does an EMP affect us? But it affects a lot of things, and you start to look at the little pieces, or the puzzle pieces around the world and what's going on. And it could be the internet. It could be, I guess when I saw that message and I saw this stuff on the Washington Post and Google and New York Times, and then my internet wanted to act up, I was getting a little like, oh my God, weird. So I started reading this article about if an EMP would happen, this electromagnetic power surge of one sort. And basically, in a nutshell, is like, again, don't quote me, Google it yourself, because I talk backwards and I might be missing a lot of points on there. So there's these tests, and they're all electromagnetic, and I'm probably saying it wrong, and I'm probably sounding really dumb right now because I'm not really explaining it to you, but it's basically something done from, them people upstairs, them people, no, not God, what people I'm talking about. And they do these tests. And so I'm just going to talk about what could happen if it's like this massive explosion by doing these tests in our world, and how it would really, really affect us. And the first thing the guy said on the article, and he was really knowledgeable, and I really wish I could forward that so you guys can see it, was that he's like, I hope you guys know how to farm. And it really struck a chord to me. Like, regardless with everything, and this is, I guess, the point of my show today, whatever is going around us, there's always something that we can control, right? So we can't control the government, clearly. And even if we try to, it's going to be nearly impossible. But he struck a chord with me. Like, are we prepared if something really happened like that? Like, things that we see in the movies, when they put in the moon, boom, 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 and you walk in and there's no light, no water, and how we're going to survive and self-sustainability, basically. The government is chaining us from not being self-sustainable, but they can't chain our mind frames in the way we do our research and be open-minded about things, right? Because things all correlate. Like, it's like a puzzle piece, right? So, and some people believe in this, and some people's like, oh, this is just another conspiracy theory, get off of it, whatever. Okay, whatever it is, I'm from the islands, okay? And so when I say that, when I saw what he said about, going back to your, the time, do you know how to farm? Do you know how to grow your food? Do you know how things work? And I said to myself, well, I said, oh, God dang it. That's what I said. God dang it. I said, well, we are so hooked up on technology, because what happens when this EMP happens, nothing's going to work. Your cell phone ain't going to work. Your computer ain't going to work. Your computer will work probably until it goes dead, but nothing's going to really work. Your gas, you can't get gas because you need electricity to bring all those things up from the ocean, so here's my thing. I'm like, okay, we are so hooked on technology. I'm hooked in the sense that, all my information, I remember as a kid, we used to have, our little encyclopedias and stuff. And my dad used to bring in, we used to like really research or go to the library and we don't do that no more. We rely so heavily on technology that I feel like some of us, and myself for certain things, have forgotten how things actually work. Not to every degree. I think it's like a little memory box in the back of your head where you're like, oh, I know how that works. Oh, that's easy. Okay. Light. All right. Well, we're just going to go back in here. And I want to challenge you guys, and I want to hear about this. You see, I don't really know too much about it as I'm just starting to tiptoe on it and kind of seeing how all these little pieces connect when it comes to what's going on right now in our government and the system and people and things. And I'm like, I don't know. Why are they trying to distract us? My point is, I want to hear your point of view, you guys. If you heard of this, let's have a dialogue about this. This is why, Dear God, Are We There Yet? It's about conversations and real people. This guy, he was having a real conversation. He was keeping it real with us. Like, you guys better go back to farming times because that's what's about to happen. And are we ready for something? If this crisis, I'm going to say it's a crisis because that's exactly what it is. A crisis. If the government shuts down, so many other elements begin to shut down. So many things can be affected by it. And I actually think about this. I'm like, today I was actually thinking about this, and I'm not going to say I was scared because that's not the point. I was just saying to my mind, like, wow, this is why they want to put us to sleep sometimes. So I want to hear your opinion. A little short podcast this week, but it's because I want to ignite your opinion or your facts. Maybe you know really hardcore about this. And I want to know what you think about it. And if you think this is really crazy and stupid, I still want to know that too. Because this is how we're having a conversation like it's 1995, because sooner or later we're going to have to be going like it's 1805. All right, you guys, until next time, make sure you never stop asking questions. And if you want to be on the show, hello at deargodarethereyet.com. And yeah, comment. So what do you think about this? Tell us.